This influencer got banned from an airline and is now facing legal action because of a fart prank. I can't believe I'm saying this, but apparently a Colombian influencer with millions of followers by the name of Jefferson Cosillo is now dealing with a full-on airline ban and possible legal action after what might be one of the dumbest plane pranks we've seen here in a minute. He was apparently flying from Bogota to Madrid. I guess it was just a normal international flight, nothing crazy, until he decided to make it pretty crazy. Because mid-flight, he allegedly pulls out a device designed to make fart noises and smells, and I guess he just uses it in the cabin. Yeah, I'm not joking. He just starts ripping a fart box in the middle of a plane. Like, wow, way to make dozens of people completely miserable for a couple hours. Thank you for your service, dude. But according to reports, the device apparently created realistic noises and odors that started to spread through the plane. And I mean, just think about that for a second. You're stuck in a pressurized metal tube 35,000 feet in the air over the Atlantic Ocean, and now you just have to inhale fake fart fumes from this moron influencer who thinks he's being funny. Apparently, at least one passenger was deeply offended by what was happening. And while that's kind of a funny way to state it, I would just be angry. Because let's be real, long-haul flights suck. You're paying thousands of dollars to essentially be trapped shoulder to shoulder with a bunch of people you don't know. So at the bare minimum, you can have some civic decency and just not be a burden to the people around you. But I guess this is where it starts to become a problem for him, because the airline stepped in, and obviously they didn't take this lightly. So Avianca, they came out with a statement saying that Avianca categorically rejects any behavior that jeopardizes the safety of its operations and compromises the onboard experience for customers and for service personnel. And just like that, he's now banned from flying with them ever again. And they're also going after him legally as well. So this guy went from, I guess, filming a prank to dealing with lawyers, because I guess he thought bringing a fart machine on a plane was a good idea for some content. Like, come on, dude, what are you doing? But this is where the story gets a little bit questionable, because after this, Jefferson finally responds. And was it a good response? No, absolutely not.
Ay, qué triste tener que hacer este video. Ya hasta se me había olvidado que se siente que lo funen a uno. Ya más de un año limpio, ya derecho, porque yo le estaba evitando todo eso, las polémicas y todo, pero por alguna razón me persigue. Bueno, yo me quería quedar callado ante todo esto, pero la cosa está escalando mucho. Dios mío, mucho.
So, according to him, this wasn't supposed to happen. The whole thing was basically some big misunderstanding. He admitted that he brought the device on the plane, but he claimed that he didn't actually mean to set it off mid-flight. And in his words, that's my job. I make pranks. So essentially he was like, well, I didn't mean to make it go off, but then he was also like, well, it was just a prank, bro. This is my job. Dude, find a new job, please. I am, like, at this point, I am just so sick and tired of the whole, it's just a prank, bro mindset. Like, if I had to deal with some fart machine exploding while I'm stuck mid-flight in a metal tube, I wouldn't care if it was a prank or not. I would just be upset about the stink. And then I guess he doubled down by saying, with or without intention, I made a mistake. That little bag burst. That's it. I'm only saying it's not as serious as they're making it out to be. Well, dude, you stunk up a whole section of the flight, and stuff like this could make people puke, which would then make the whole situation so much worse. I mean, this is just awful. But I guess after his initial response, the story then shifts from guy intentionally sets off fart machine on plane to maybe the bag just exploded. Whoopsie, sorry about that. And I don't know. If that's true, I guess it's a little bit of a different situation, but still, what are you doing bringing a carry-on fart machine onto your flight? Come on, dude. Because while there is a difference of a guy deliberately setting it off as a prank and him accidentally setting it off, I don't know. It also just feels like a big excuse. Because it's like, I don't know. I have so much anxiety about having something I'm not supposed to have on the plane. Like, I'm triple checking that I'm not bringing on too much liquid. Is it 100 milliliters or less of this toothpaste? Yes, no, I don't know. I'm going through all of that. And this guy is just like, well, whoopsie, I accidentally brought a fart machine on. Like, come on. It was like only last month they had to shut down the entire Washington, D.C. airport because of a chemical smell. And apparently that was just because of one circuit board overheating. So, I mean, this could have easily been a way more overblown situation than what it was. But thankfully, they just banned him from that airline. And apparently the airline clearly were not buying. It was just a burst defense because I guess from their perspective, it doesn't really matter how it happened. Because at the end of the day, he brought something onto a flight that spread a strong odor through the cabin, disturbed other passengers, and was, you know, in a closed pressurized cabin. So that just sucked for everyone around. And again, someone easily could have gotten sick from that. So, I mean, you kind of deserve a flight ban from bringing something like that onto a flight. Maybe not one for life, but still, dude, what are you doing? Also, if he's Colombian, I'm pretty sure Avianca is like one of the only main carriers that flies from Colombia out to Europe and so on. So this is actually going to be, this is a big blow for him. Flights from, let's see, Bogota to, let's see, Madrid. How many airlines fly that? I mean, he could fly Iberia still, but I think Avianca is like one of the main airlines companies going out of Colombia. Air Europa, you have KLM as well. Not as convenient though. I mean, these are direct flights. Iberia at least has direct flights. So after seeing there are other options for him, yeah, he probably deserves the ban. Just don't bring a fart box onto future flights, dude. It's not really that hard. Because at the end of the day, come on, like when something gets released into that space, everyone is breathing it because it's a pressurized cabin. So the airline pointed out that behavior violated the violation section 8.6 of their terms and conditions, which talks about conduct that affects safety, comfort, and order and discipline on the aircraft. So either way, on purpose or not on purpose, he broke that rule. And so I guess that's how a fart prank got this guy banned from an entire airline company. But also, again, he's not just banned. They're also apparently pursuing legal action. So that's not basically them just saying, well, you're banned for life now. No, they're also going, well, you actually owe us now. So I think what they're really doing here is they're trying to make an example out of him. So future people don't go on and do this because this is awful and should not be tolerated. So apparently after landing in Madrid, that was it. There was no ride back. And they basically said, you're on your own now, which means this guy went from filming a prank on a plane to being stuck in another country, trying to figure out how he's getting home. So, I mean, that's just one big wombo combo for him. Landing in a different country, getting banned from the airline, and I guess your return flight is now canceled. You're stranded essentially, and now you need a lawyer. All over some dumb fart prank. Congratulations, you played yourself. Dude essentially just risked it all and didn't even get the views for it. And also, when I did some research on this guy, I also found out he went viral in 2024 for undergoing what's called world's most painful surgery. So apparently this guy paid around $175,000 to have his legs surgically lengthened so he could be taller. So I'm assuming because of that, he has money for attorneys and so on, and being stranded in Spain isn't too bad for him, but still, we're talking about a procedure where they break your bones, insert a rod, and slowly stretch your legs over time. And then he documented the whole thing. And then apparently after the surgery, he said the last 11 or 12 days, he's only been able to sleep for about 2 hours maximum, which just sounds so miserable. But I guess he's like 6 foot now. Cool. So maybe that was worth it. But regardless, I don't care how tall he is. I just care that he released a fart box smell into an airplane. And because of that, I don't like him. And clearly, the airline doesn't either. But hey, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.